button if you have questions. Coach Snow, can you hear us?
I am here. I can hear you.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, if someone wants to start with the first question, Mike, go for it.
Thanks, Preston. Hey, Coach Snow, good to see you again.
Mike.
As we look ahead to Detroit, obviously you're going to be without guy. Dante Jackson is expected not to play. That changes things in your corners. But with Detroit, they've done a lot of good work with DeAndre Hasty of late. I mean, where does it start with these guys?
Well, it starts at the quarterback position, and then they're starting to run the ball better too. So when they run the ball and can get their play action game going along with their drop back, they're pretty tough to defend. But Matthew Stafford is an elite thrower of the football, and so it really starts with them with him. And I don't know really what his status is. I understand he's got a hand injury, but I'm assuming he's going to play. So. Yeah, they're if you look at, they're in every game they play, so they have a chance to win. So they've been playing some good football.
All right, let's go to David Newton and then Vashti Hurt.
Coach, I'm curious. I guess you're seeing more of your backups in practice today or the last couple of days. What have you learned just watching them over the course of the season, and as far as whether you think they can be, guys that can win in the league if they have to start a game?
Well, we've been, over the last month, we've played quite a few different people, and that the young guys are getting better every day. But this league is tough too. We've played some, some Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and when you're young and learning the game. They've handled themselves quite well, honestly, for being in the situations they've been. So, we'll have to play some young guys again this week. So that's just the way it is in this league, So no excuses. We just got to go out and play better.
Hi, Coach. Third down has been an area of improvement. Is that something that you can practice? Is it something that comes with experience? I'm just curious how you work on improving on third down.
Well, third down has been a thorn in us all year. And I thought we'd play a little bit better on third down last week, and we didn't. So, we're looking at everything. What we run, how we run it. Getting the players to really understand what we're doing and what they're doing, and it just hasn't clicked yet. So if you look at our statistics, other than the long run last week, the third downs hurt us again on the scoring drive. So it's something we have to improve on if we're going to play defense the way we want. And so we're, and in this week, we've started it a little bit earlier, working on third down. So we just got to get better at it, and hopefully we improve this week.
Let's go back to Mike Solarte for the next question.
Thanks, Preston. Coach, you talked about how many young guys you're playing. Having your experience being predominantly in college, playing young guys is really nothing new, I would imagine, for you. But at this level, how much of a challenge is that for you to get guys up to speed from the collegiate level to the NFL level? And you've been doing it all season long, considering the draft picks and the guys that you've been working with.
Yeah, it's just like any, when you played freshman football in high school, then you're a freshman in college, and now you're a first-year player in the pros. It's just a different speed. It's a different game as far as who you're playing against. So it's a major adjustment for those players, and I think they've done quite well with it. So we just, there's really no excuses. You just keep coaching them, and they're getting better at it. And, injuries are part of the game. So we, who's ever in our two deep, we have to play with, and that's the way this league is. We're all having the same problems. I think the young guys are handling it quite well.
And just following up on that, the challenge for you, though, I mean, you've been around the game for a long time, and you know what you expect, and you know what you want to see. How much of a challenge is it for you to try to get the message through and coach these guys up?
Well, for the whole staff, we're constantly trying to find a better way to teach what we do, and they don't have a lot of time to learn what they're doing. So, we didn't have OTAs with the young guys, so it's a constant battle every day, not just for us, but for the players too. And I think they're handling it really well. So, but it's just part of our profession. You know, we knew we were going to be young this year, and there's no excuses. You just keep coaching and keep getting better.
Let's go to Skylar Callahan and then Phil Orban.
Hey Phil, kind of going back on the third down situation, are you finding it more so that it's the struggles on first and second down have been the issue to where teams are getting in third and manageable, or is it just lack of execution on third down?
Different. I'll tell you, like last week, we had 35 first downs. And other than the 98-yard run, which hurt the statistics, if you take that play out, they only average like 3.1 yard per play on first down, which is pretty good. And second down wasn't bad last week. We got them in some third and long. We just didn't win them. Now, there's been other games like New Orleans. They were third and real short, which affected our percentages. So each game's been a little bit different. And so we're just trying to work through it.
Hey, Phil, understanding that the backups always have to be ready to go out and perform whatever they're called upon, what kind of advantage would it be for somebody like Troy Pride if he knew his role before kickoff, that he would be out there instead of having to kind of slide in midway through the game if Dante couldn't go?
Yeah, and I think that's going to help Troy this week. He'll be, he knows he's going. And so there's a different mindset when you do that. And I think you're right. I think that'll help him this week. Not that he's been playing bad, but I think he just knows what realm he's in now and what he has to get done for the entire football game. So I think it will help him.
Let's go to Joe Person, followed by Jonathan Alexander.
Hey, Phil, you schemed against and faced Teddy at Temple, I think, your first year there. How has he changed as a quarterback in that, I guess it's been over a 7-year period?
I think the biggest thing that I've recognized is his mobility. When he was younger in college, he moved around pretty well. And he still moves really good in the pocket, but I think he doesn't run like he used to. That's the only difference I see. He always had command of what he was doing and was accurate with the football. And so those things haven't changed. I think it's mobility. And I think with everybody, as you get older, your mobility changes. So that would be the only difference I see.
And any specific memories from him that day?
Well, they beat us like 31-0. And, we struggled early in the game and we played better as the game went, but they had a real good football team at Louisville. They had a good football team.
Hey Phil, hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeremy Chin is a guy who can play multiple positions. I think you mentioned he played Grizzly position on defense. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, do you see there being more of a need for that, or has there been a recent trend in players in particular who can do multiple things on the football field?
Yeah, I think the more players you have that can do multiple things, the better you're going to play. Belichick's proven that over the years. His guys play a number of different positions, and when guys can do different things for you, it allows you to adjust differently and actually give the offense a little bit more issues. Like, for example, if we stay in base people against 3 wideouts, typically most teams don't do that, but we can afford to do that with Jeremy. So it gives the offense a little bit different issues when you're able to do that.
Okay, guys, we have time for 1 or 2 more if there are any questions left.
Phil, I jumped on late, so if you've addressed this, I apologize. But playing Detroit, you spent some time there. Any kind of specific memories of how that experience maybe helped in your development?
Well, I worked with a lot of really good coaches and players there. And every year that you're in this business, you learn. And you not only learn from good experiences, but bad. And, I was on that team that didn't win a football game. So that was some bad, that was a bad year, but I think I learned a lot during that year too. So, I have some fond memories of people there, and I really enjoyed the ownership. Mr. Ford was just a terrific guy to work for, and Bill Jr., his son. So there were a lot of good memories there.
Lena, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Thanks, Preston. Hi, Coach. I was curious, Matt has talked a lot about how he felt like the defensive line actually played one of its best games against the Bucs. I was curious, outside of obviously the touchdown run, but I was curious how you feel like the line has developed, without K'Wan Short out there, and if you also saw improvement last week.
No, I really did. If you really look at who we started up front, you started 3 rookies and a second-year player, and I think they handled themselves quite well in that football game. If we win third down, the game's a lot different. So we just got to get that solved, and I think that D-line's coming along with a lot of other players at other positions. But I thought they did, real well.
Let's go to David Newton for the next question.
Yeah, Coach, I know we've asked you a lot about Brian Burns over the last few weeks, but what have you seen as the biggest difference between what you saw last year as him as a pass rusher and what you've seen this year?
Well, I think he's coming into his own. He's starting to really feel about, what his move is and his counters. And, I told him the other day, I said, you're going to have a 3-sack game here pretty soon. He is so close to getting a lot of sacks, and he's fun to be around. I think at some point he's going to break out, and you're going to see him sack the quarterback because he's just too close too many times. So, he's shown really good improvement this year.
And how much is not having a cast or a brace on that hand helped him with what he has to do to be an elite rusher?
Oh, I mean, you can't, when you have a cast on a hand, it's really hard to play football. Obviously we have to, the players have to do it at times, but I think it's helped him greatly.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Coach Snow, we always appreciate it.
Thank you.